Hey, all you Clear Lake peeps. Ross England here with Clear Lake Guide Service with your weekly fishing report. We're halfway through the month of August, believe it or not. August 15th. Conditions are, it's hot. It's actually kind of warm. I think it hit 100 yesterday. I think it's supposed to hit 102 or 103 today. And it feels like it right now, although I always tell people, look, you're sitting on top of 80-degree water, so it doesn't feel that bad. And it doesn't. It doesn't feel that bad, but it's still toasty. My water temperature, I have found anywhere from about 80 to 82.5 degrees. It's probably warmer in some certain areas. The clarity kind of went to heck the last couple of days. We have algae blooms that kicked up big time yesterday because we didn't have a whole lot of wind. So we had a lot of heat, long sunny day, no wind to mix it up. So we got an algae buildup that occurred yesterday. It's going on again today. Not really bad on the surface, but it's mixed in. So areas that I was in first part of the week where I could see 3.5 and 4 feet. I could actually see some fish coming out chasing. Today, 2 feet at best, closer on the average to about 1.5. Fishing remained really good this week. I should say it improved to good this week. We made some tweaks in our approach and it put us on some fish. We've had some really nice fish this week. Had a 5 and a 7, which just haven't been seeing those kind of fish. So we'll post a picture of the 7 probably middle of next week or so. They've been anywhere from the surface down to about 25 feet and everywhere in between. It's just a lot of hard work staying on top of them and figuring it out. The good news is we've had with the help of a 5-pounder and a 7-pounder, we've been able to put together 20-pound plus limits, which is really encouraging. That's more like what Clear Lake is capable of doing. The fish we've caught have been very good condition. Some of them that are in the 2.5-pound range are a little bit on the skinnier side, but the other fish have been really, really in good shape. What's most encouraging to me is they don't look all beat up, so it's not like they're a bunch of recycled fish that, the community fish that's been caught 6 or 7 times in the last 2 weeks. So we're, and part of that is because, honestly, I'm moving around and just fishing a lot of different water. Some of it's nostalgia fishing, going back to places that I thought, I really should probably be trying to hit this kind of stuff. But I'm so, like most of us, we're so entrenched into it's summer, it's hot, let's stick with what usually works. What was working for me didn't work so good last week, so we made some switches, and so far it looks like it's paid off dividends. We've had some opportunities at some better fish, and just we didn't get them hooked and or didn't get them in the boat. So today we switched gears and didn't go after the numbers, looking mostly for a bigger fish, and it worked. We only ended up with, I think, 13 fish today, 14 fish, something like that. And that, as long as you get one good bite, that's a pretty good trade-off. Go for numbers, go for size. A lot of times you can just go for the numbers and the size will show up in the process, but it hasn't been working that way for me the last couple of weeks. So fishing pressure, exceptionally light. I saw 3 bass boats out today. I think the last 2 trips out, even on the weekend, Sunday, which we had a really good day. I think we had 43 fish that day. There was a handful of boats. I don't know if it was just the weather or other stuff going on. So we touched on the fishing, the weather conditions. We touched on the fishing conditions. Upcoming events, I believe the weekend after this is a kayak tournament, a 2-day tournament. I don't know exactly what that's going to do, how many people are going to show up, but that's usually a fun thing to watch. And before I forget, I saw posted on social media this week that Bob's Marine has canceled this year's event, which takes place in September. They said they're going to be back next year. Didn't go into the reasons why. So any of you planning on fishing the Bob's Marine event, you need to contact Bob's Marine, especially if you've already sent in a deposit or whatnot, or just to find out what's going on. Call them up, support them. They've been doing a good job of doing a tournament up here for a number of years. They're good people. Give them a holler. Just make sure that you understand they've canceled the tournament for this year. Look forward to it being here next year. I kind of like having those kind of events here that are open type events where you don't have to be a member or any of that kind of stuff, because it sure encourages a lot more family interaction. I really like that. So this week we caught our fish on several different types of topwater baits. We caught some jig fish, we caught some crankbait fish, we caught some worm fish. So a little bit of everything. Used all three arms of the lake. Fished up on this end where I'm sitting out just off of 5th Street right now. Fished on this end, fished on the rattlesnake arm a little bit, and the narrows, and down into the redbud arm. So kind of really spread it out, ran all over the place. Trying to just pick up a fish here, pick up a fish there. Really haven't found a place that they can just pull up to and whack, do a whack-a-mole thing and just sit and pound on them. I just haven't found that spot yet. So I'm sure it's out there, but I concentrated on trying to hit again new water, which I think I told you guys last week or the week before. You know, start poking your head around and start doing something different, looking for something different, and follow my own advice. Went out, and I'll tell you what, it produced. I fished a spot the other day that I hadn't fished in 3 years because the conditions just didn't look right for it, and it worked. So nice to have a little inventory of stuff to fall back on. But at any rate, it's supposed to be hot the next couple of days, maybe cool down a little bit over the weekend. So if you're out and about, make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. We've got about 3 more weeks of fishing before the crush of fall fishing and all the tournaments that are going to start showing up on the weekends with the fish offs and whatnot. So get out and enjoy it. There's still a lot of really good fishing left. And I think here in the next couple of weeks I get to see my little nephew Caleb. It'd be fun to get him out here and get him on some fish because he's overdue. Thank you. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the comments. Ran into a couple more people this week, which I really enjoy. You can catch all of my stuff either on Clear Lake Guide Service on the web, Clear Lake Guide Service on Facebook, or Clear Lake Guide Service on YouTube. I actually got it all right this time and did it all in order. Thanks. You folks have a good time.